This is a review comparison vid of the Daiwa BG and the Penn Battle II, two of the best value spinning reels in the world. If you're looking for a saltwater rated reel with world-class drag, full alloy bodies, and sealed bearings, it's really hard to look past these two reels. MSRP for both is about $110, and for a mid-range reel, really mid-range reels that have high-end performance, it's tough to beat the Penn Battle II and the Daiwa BG. If you're watching this vid, there's a good chance you have one of these reels, or maybe you know somebody that has one of these reels. So I invite you to leave a comment in the section below if I missed something, or if you'd like to add to the discussion. I'm going to cover both reels, what I like about both, what I don't like about both, and what I truly believe to be the best value reel on the planet. It's going to be one of these two reels. Before we get to that, let's take a look at the specs from the top down. Now both the Daiwa BG and the Penn Battle II come in multiple sizes. The Daiwa BG comes in 10 sizes starting at the 1500 through 8000, while the Penn Battle II comes in 8 sizes starting at the 1000 and ending at 8000. Now all sizes in those ranges are saltwater rated. For the purpose of this review, I'll be talking about the 4000s. Both the Daiwa BG and Penn Battle II have phenomenal drag systems. The Daiwa BG features what Daiwa calls their ATD system, or automatic tournament drag system. That means there's a little bit of slip on the line when the fish hits, and it automatically goes back down to the preset drag setting. The drag cap is plastic on the BG and has infinite clicks, feels really good, and as you turn the spool, you'll notice that it pings pretty loud. It actually pings louder than the Battle II. The 4000 size features 17.6 pounds of drag. This is a carbon drag stack, and it's sealed at the top with a bushing on the bottom to keep the drag stack waterproof. The system is super smooth, a tad smoother than the HT100, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's better. Just know that it feels really good. The Battle II features Penn's top-of-the-line drag system called their HT100 drag system. It's a keyed washer design that utilizes both sides of the washers. The Penn Battle II 4000 features 15 pounds of drag, and the drag is just awesome and smooth. If you have a fish that goes on a really quick run, the system is designed to dissipate heat in the drag sack. Where lesser carbon washers will fail, where felt washers will fail, the HT100 drag system is designed to keep going no matter how hard and how fast and how long the fish is running. The drag cap is also plastic, has infinite clicks, and as I mentioned, just doesn't ping as loud as the BG. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Just know that if you're into the audible pings that a spool gives you as it's clicking out, as drag is ripping out, it's not going to be as loud as the BG. Both reels have computer balanced CNC'd aluminum spools, and both feature guide rings. The Penn Battle II has gold guide rings, so they're a little more visible, and both spools are Superline ready with rubber backing. You don't need mono backing on these spools. Some shops advise you still use it, but I tie direct to the spools, and I've never had a problem. Both have line keepers. The Penn Battle II has a ported spool to save a little bit of weight, while the BG does not. Line lay on both spools is excellent. The Daiwa BG line lay seems to be a little top heavy. It tapers out starting from the bottom to the top, but casts very well, while a line lay on the Penn Battle II is actually very even from the top down. And because Daiwas tend to run a little larger than Penns, the Daiwa BG 4000 features line capacity of 280 yards of 30-pound braid, while the Penn Battle II 4000 only carries 185 yards of 30-pound braid. The Daiwa BG's rotor is made out of graphite, unlike the Penn Battle II, which features an aluminum rotor. But just because it looks big, feels big, doesn't mean it is big. The BG features what Daiwa calls their air rotor design, and that basically means a little bit of material and a lot of space to create a lot of strength. You'll notice that the rotor is heavily ported. There's a lot of cutouts to save weight, so that when you spin up the reel, there's not a lot of inertia. It just spins super fast, super smooth. The Daiwa BG 4000 features a 5.7 to 1 gear ratio. It only has one gear ratio, and that's 5.7 turns of the rotor for every one turn of the handle. The Penn Battle II is only offered one gear ratio, and that's 6.2 to 1, or 6.2 turns of the rotor for every one turn of the handle. Interestingly enough, although the Penn Battle II is technically the faster reel, remember 6.2 to 1 versus 5.7 to 1, the Penn Battle II will only give you 37 inches of line retrieve for every turn of the handle, whereas the Daiwa BG 4000 will give you 40 inches of line retrieve for every turn of the handle. And I think that's due to the fact that Daiwas run bigger than Penns. The Daiwa BG features a stainless steel bail, whereas the Penn Battle II has a thick aluminum bail. The BG's bail is a little flimsy to the touch, whereas the Battle II is really solid. The bail mech spring in the BG is actually a little soft, and that's one of my complaints about this reel. If you turn it, you can't really hear a click. Sometimes, and when casting with this reel, I've had a few miscasts, and I attribute that to the weak bail mech. On the flip side, I've noticed that the Penn Battle II has an awesome bail mech spring, and really a lot of the Penns, starting from the Fierce 2 up to the Class, whatever they're doing in their bail mechanism, it's just awesome. You can hear a very loud audible click. It seems to go a little farther over than the BG does, and the spring is just really tight, a lot tighter than the BG. I've never really had a miscast with this reel, and I've probably casted in the surf with this reel 4 times more than this, and it's just super solid. Penn's done a really good job with preventing miscasts, and I kind of wish that the BG was at the same level as the Battle II. Both the Penn Battle II and the BG feature auto trip bails, but don't auto trip your bails. It's bad for your reel. It's just bad for everyone. Now, both the Daiwa BG and the Penn Battle II's bodies are designed out of aluminum. The BG's body is designed under what Daiwa calls their hard bodies design. That's just a marketing term. Just know that the BG's body is super stiff, super rugged, super tough. The BG's reel arm is nice and long. The reel foot is average size, should fit in any reel seat, and the BG features a bottom rugged cap. It looks really cool, and if this reel finds charter life, it can get thrashed around, and you won't have to replace the body if you wreck it. You'll just have to replace the bottom cap. The Battle II has a similar plastic cap. It's more in the forefront here, and the aluminum corrosion-resistant paint job is actually one of the upgrades from the Battle I to the Battle II. And just like the BG, super stiff, super rigid, doesn't flex at all. Nice reel arm, and average size reel foot. Now, one of the key differences between the Daiwa BG and the Penn Battle II is not only the bearing count, but the quality of those bearings. The Daiwa BG has 6 sealed ball bearings in the body and 1 in the line roller, while the Penn Battle II has 5 sealed bearings in the body and 1 in the line roller. But it's the quality of the bearings that really separate the Daiwa BG. The BG features Minibia ball bearings, or the same ball bearings used in the 2013 Shimano Stella SW, and same as all the non-mag ball bearings used in the Saltiga, the Expedition, and the Dogfight. The ball bearings in the BG are just phenomenally smooth. I mean, you can really tell the difference as you spin it. It's just super smooth, and if you've ever spun a mag-sealed Daiwa reel, it's not quite as slick as that, but pretty darn close. If you spin up the Penn Battle II, I mean, it's smooth enough, but definitely not as smooth as the BG. Yes, it has a faster gear ratio, that could slow down the feel. And yes, the rotor is a little bit heavier. That could add to the slow startup spin, but it just doesn't feel nearly as smooth as the Daiwa BG. Another key difference between the Battle II and the BG is the fact that the BG has a huge main gear. The main gear is cast zinc. I'm pretty sure it's just pot metal in the Battle II. There is really no meshing in the BG as you spin it. You really can't feel the teeth engaging, but in the Battle II you definitely can. As you spin it, you can feel a little bit of vibration. It's almost as if you can feel every tooth biting. With the BG, as you spin it, you really don't get the sensation that there's contact between metals. It just feels super smooth. And that's not to say that the Battle II isn't precise, but as I turn it, I can definitely feel the gears engaging, and it just doesn't feel as smooth and precise as the BG. I put this reel under a little bit more work and more stress in the surf than the BG, but I've used both in vertical fishing applications, and if there's anything to really test the precision and feel of a reel, it's pulling up heavy fish and heavy weights from the bottom, and the oversized gear, the digital cut gearing, just the precision of the gear manufacturing. I definitely think that the BG has the Battle II beat, at least on gearing. The Daiwa BG 4000 has instant anti-reverse, but the 4000 is the last size that you get the anti-reverse switch. It's tucked up nice and tight to the rotor, out of the way, so a nice little feature if you're looking for that switch in a 4000 size reel. The Penn Battle II 4000 does not offer that in the 4000 size series. You get instant anti-reverse and no option of shutting it off. The Battle II's handle's machined aluminum. It's anodized and has a nice finish. Seen absolutely no corrosion on it. It's a screw-in design, so you can screw it in from the left side or the right side, just remove the cap and switch it with the handle if you want to move the handle to the right side. I really love the knob on the Penn Battle II 4000. I think it's my favorite knob. Super versatile, nice and flat, nice tacky grip, really comfortable if you're surf casting, and really comfortable if you want a bottom jig with it. The BG, on the other hand, has a completely different approach to handle design. It's also machined aluminum. It's also anodized, absolutely no corrosion on it, looks really good. Also screw-in design, you can screw it in from the left or the right side. But unlike the Battle II, the handle doesn't have a pivot joint. It's a single aluminum piece, and I think Daiwa does that for two reasons. One, rigidity, and two, to eliminate another opportunity for corrosion. The BG knob is okay, has a similar tacky grip as the Battle II, but the knob is just a little too oversized for surf applications if you're using the 4000 for plugging, but it does make a great vertical jigging knob. You definitely get a lot more leverage grabbing it this way and pulling up heavy fish and heavy weights from the deep versus the Battle II. Both knobs are very versatile, both have tacky grip, both will give you a lot of grip if your hands are wet or covered in fish slime, and both are super versatile, and they complement some versatile reels. And there you have it, a top-down spec review of the two best dollar-for-dollar spinning reels in the world. Now, which one's right for you? The spec differences between the two for the average angler is so minimal that you really can't go wrong with either one. Both reels pack incredible value and really are a bargain at even their full MSRP. The great thing about these reels too is that because they're so popular, because there's so many of them, they always are cheap to find. You can find each one for about $75 to $80 brand new. And another great thing compared to other manufacturers is that these reels hold their resale value. If you buy one, if you upgrade, or if you buy one and you decide it's not right for you, there's a good chance you can sell it for close to what you paid for. The Daiwa BG is a great addition to the Daiwa lineup, while the Penn Battle II was a great update to the Penn Battle I, which really was the catalyst for all these great reels at the $100 price point. Because of the Penn Battle I, because of the success and the reception of the market, the Battle II came around with sealed ball bearings and the HT100 drag, and really forced the other manufacturers to take note and up their game. The Daiwa BG, the Tsunami Shield, a lot of reels are starting to trickle into the $100 range that are just phenomenal and really give you $200 reel performance. Now, which way should you go? If you like to cast lures and plugs, consider the Battle II. With its aluminum rotor, you get a little more balance on plugging spinning rods. At 6.2 to 1 gear ratio, you get a little more speed to work with, and I really can't talk enough about the awesome bail trip mechanism in the Battle II. Again, I've had very few miscasts, if any, with this versus the BG, and also you have that big bail that just gives you a lot of protection if you tend to drop reels on rocks and sand. If you're looking for a vertical jigging reel, if you're looking for a big reel to throw big baits, or if you're looking for a reel that's going to handle the big stuff, consider the BG with its slightly slower gear ratio and its Manibia ball bearings and its bigger dry gear. You really can't go wrong with a reel like this when it comes to pulling up big fish from the water or from the deep. But honestly, you really can't go wrong with either the BG or the Penn Battle II. Both are really versatile, both have a lot of utility, both are dependable, both are durable, both are, relatively affordable, and both are parts supported. But if I can only pick one, if I had to choose one, which reel would I choose? I'd pick the Daiwa BG. You really can't beat the value that goes into this reel, the quality of the materials that go into this reel, the Manibia ball bearings. It's really cool knowing that they use those ball bearings in the older Stellas and the current Expedition, Saltigas, and Dogfights. You get the big main gear, the precision cut gear that gives you a lot of leverage, a lot of durability, and a lot of life. You get the line capacity. You get the ATD drag system. You just get a lot of bang for your buck, a little bit more, in my opinion, versus the Penn Battle II. And that's saying something. The Penn Battle II really set the bar high for what a mid-range reel could do, and it really forced the industry to produce the best $100 reel, and the Daiwa BG is it. So thanks again for watching. Links in the description below for any products featured in this vid. Any purchases made through those associate links directly support content like this. This was the Daiwa BG versus Penn Battle II comparison vid, a fun look at some of the best dollar-for-dollar spinning reels in the world.